Hey all, it's Vanessa Love, and this is my channel about the mental health field and related topics. Alright, so sorry I'm speaking so quick. I just wanted to kind of get this out there before my next person comes in. Alright, so I wanted to talk about literacy, and about literacy doesn't just mean reading, it means using a constructive critical eye on things. So media literacy, you know. I know when I was in college, see, I love everything that's behind the scenes in media. I just find it fascinating. If I ever get a chance to tour Bloomberg, Fox, CBS, and they're around too. I would just be oh my gosh, this is so cool. Sometimes when I go to football games, I just really like watching the cameramen running back and forth, camera people running back and forth at the sidelines, because sports photography is a very, very difficult thing, and you have to be able to run up and down with gear. That's amazing. And then when you have the huge, you gotta just keep running back and forth. It's amazing. I just love it. Okay, so when I was in college, I saw, I think on some website that was about how to talk to your kids about looking at things constructively, and especially when it comes to commercials. And so it was hey, how would that commercial be different if it was for someone who, what, if it's a toy for a kid, how would that be different if it was aimed towards parents or aimed towards a college student? Just kind of really get them thinking about how they're being advertised to, right? And I think that we need that now because it is very insidious how kids are getting all of these sponsored content that isn't labeled, and there are just people being oh, this is what I use on my face, and this is how this goes. So that it normalizes a lot of things, and I want to make a lot of videos about this, but let's focus on the kids and teaching them about how to spot fake videos, how to determine if something's AI, how to determine whether or not something's advertised to them, or if it's advertised to someone else. You can definitely make fun of it and be how would this be different if it was targeted towards Gen X? You can definitely do those type of things and make it kind of a fun thing, so that they start thinking about how things are being targeted towards them. Okay, so we are going to talk about Sephora. So what I want to begin with is that I went to a dermatologist when I was 10. The reason for that is because my brother has a lot of allergies, so many allergies, lots and lots and lots of allergies. And I had to get an allergy test. I can tell you I'm allergic to grasses, trees, and weeds, but that was only the skin test. That wasn't what foods I'm allergic to. My brother was also allergic to a lot of foods. It was a tough go, I think, for my mom figuring out that he was allergic to cow milk, and so she had to get goat's milk for a while, and then he was fine. It's very weird. He doesn't have any allergies, I think, as much as an adult, but we also had to work on that with the dermatologist. So at that time we got allergy shots. He got 2, I got 1, and we had to switch them. It's the whole thing. So at that time, a dermatologist was hey, 2 things. 1, you have a lot of freckles, and because your mom is fair skinned, you have to be very careful. You do have the likelihood of getting skin cancer. I don't have skin cancer, but I do get a yearly scan. I chose a physician or dermatologist who came to Rotary to talk, and he has this interesting technology where he can tell within millimeters as to if any of anyone's, but mine, if any of my moles, freckles have changed, grown, expanded, changed color, any of those things. And it takes a long time. They have to look at each one over the years and to see this. Okay, he is not one to immediately remove, which is nice. When I was younger, that doctor was one to immediately remove. So if you ever see anything that's a little bit off, that looks like maybe a burn or something on me, it probably is because I had moles cut off and burnt shut. So there's that. I think there were like 9 of them. So there still might be like remnants of them, because I'm like, well, I think, there's like one. Oh, you really can't see that. That is, oh yeah, you can kind of see it. So that's one. Two, I was starting to have breakouts, so I did basically the doctor equivalent of Proactiv, and they told me how to do everything. And I believe I did have retinol. I might have been Retin-A. I know that there was one that they were like, use this very cautiously, and so I know that I was going to that doctor consistently for 3 years, until he was just like, okay, well, you have to come yearly for your allergy shot. I never went back. And then, yeah, that was basically it. They just kind of let us go after that. And then occasionally I'd come in if like I had any like really, really terrible, what is that called? Like whitehead that they could like treat. And sometimes I'd go in there like, so, I don't know if it's any different now, because like I don't, but like, so back then, they would do some sort of like, dry ice concoction, put it on your skin, and then have you sit in a, what is that thing called? A UV room. It was a closet, a UV room for like a couple of minutes, to like dry everything out. That was like the whole point of that. So like now I have these clients who are in their 20s who are like, oh my God, my skin, my skin, my skin. And I'm like, please go to a dermatologist, because they're the ones to tell you whether or not you have good or bad skin. And they are judging themselves against social media. And that is not right. And then also like I've seen like famous YouTubers, like, I mean, it's been a long time, but like there would be like Gabby Hanna or like Trisha Paytas, who would just be like, oh yeah, I'm having my nails done, I'm getting a little lip filler, and then I'm doing and I was like, oh my God, you guys are like 20. Why are you doing any of this? And normalizing it. Like, I did not understand that. Like, I know that gossip is a way to like kind of control people, but also like as I was growing up, there were like people who were getting boob jobs at 18, as a graduation gift, and like that seemed a little bit weird and maybe like not the best idea, because you're still kind of growing at that age. And then also, just by the way, like boob jobs are just like not a one and done type of thing. Like, you have to get those changed out, like if there's a recall, if the ones you have start leaking, if there's any issue, and you have to get them taken out, I think, every 10 years. So like now I'm just like, hey guys, everyone okay? And then the other thing is that you're gonna gain and lose weight, and so like that's going to affect how they sit and how they are. So like that seems like a very not great idea for someone who can't fully evaluate how that is going to affect the rest of their life. Like, I definitely know that that's not something I would have thought about at 18. If someone was like, hey, let's get a tattoo, I would have been like, oh yeah, okay, sure. And then just like not thought like, oh, like, where would I get it? And like that, like, weight gain and weight loss will be definitely like kind of a part of that. Like, it would never be on my mind. It'd be like, I hope it doesn't fade, and then go on my day. I don't know. Yeah, so I didn't get any tattoos when I was younger. So yeah, like, there's a lot, and people are kind of normalizing these things, and they're not going to dermatologists, and they're kind of like trying to figure out all of these things that are supposed to be like kind of like personal and like genetic, and some things you can definitely change and some things that you can't, especially with skin. So like that's a whole thing. And like it amazes me that these people who like look so young are like, no, I need to look better. I'm gonna say something and it's gonna be kind of controversial, but like I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Listen, we have known for a while that major movies, TV, all of that has been controlled by people who are known pedos. So I do not think that anyone should be buying into looking young because they're told by the media that that's how they should look. Because basically, you are trying to look young to people who are not probably on the same level as you. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for you, and I will do many more of these. Have a good one.